Now, has it gotten too hard?
No.
Okay.
Of course, it's close.
So in this particular process, we're pressing the patterns in from the top. When we press them in from the top, we can do things with the leaves. We can control the depth of the pattern. However, if you put the pieces in the formwork and then pour, there's more definition. The pattern is based on, these are actually lumber. These are pieces that are very common called 2x4s, and they sit on the bed of the saw that cuts stone. They use these. So they're huge blocks of granite, and every time the saw comes down, it goes through the stone and cuts through into the wood. They save them for me. They would normally throw these out, but I saw them sitting there and I really thought they were quite beautiful. But usually we split them in half so they're thinner, and then we pour a rubber mold over it so that so what comes out is a flexible rubber mold. And we'll be using these rubber molds for the project, for the Athens project. I also want to, when we pour the concrete, I want to create some different texture. I'm just going to drop some things in randomly like this. And that again will, that'll become part of the surface. There's a craft here that's very primitive, and I'm sure there are masons in Athens and in Greece who, watching us do this, would probably get a good laugh out of it because they would be doing it in a way that would probably be perfect. But perfect isn't really what we're after here. It's showing some sense of time.
Yeah.
Michael's work has become, over the last 20 years since I've been working with him, about the ground, about the locality, the indigenous aspects of the place. The whole purpose of an embassy is to establish a little portion of American soil in a foreign country. And so for us to have an artist who works with, literally works with the soil, who works on the place itself, rather than embellish the building with something which could be moved at some other time, was a particular appeal to me, and I think to those who commissioned Michael. Our commission was to provide expanded quarters for the American Embassy in Athens, which is this building here. A very important building in 20th century American architecture. It was designed by Walter Gropius in the 1950s. We decided very early on that it would be quite impossible and quite inappropriate to add to this magnificent freestanding pavilion of Gropius's. We decided that the only way to expand into this site was to have a series of pavilions and a kind of agora of the parking.
The people coming to the embassy to visit will come in through this area and across a bridge. The sculpture is placed right along the edge of these olive grove trees, and this whole area is the entry garden. It's a beautiful space. The parking garage is here, and people will be coming down steps going under the bridge, so they'll also be they'll have that view of the sculpture as well. One of the things I was very excited about was this opportunity for people to see the work both coming down from the garage area, the stairs, into the site, and also people coming across who were going to be from the outside. This is a piece that is actually complete, and it was completed more than 10 years ago. There's a language of form and shape. Here the base is a black stone that comes from India, and it just has this sense of the ground and time and the earth. And then the lighter stone is arising from it. This is a structure that I couldn't pull a piece out or it would fall down. So it's about balance. There are issues of balance and centering, interconnectedness. There are architectural concepts in this. This is the pick pile of various elements that I can use and will take and return from pieces I'm working on. The rocks come out of various places close by, either a stream or something that was part of an old wall that's fallen down. And when I get the rock, it's in a different shape, but then I end up having it cut. So it creates one surface that is going to sit in a level. And then in this area, these are a lot of stone samples, smaller pieces, textured pieces, all kinds of things here that either I've used or rejected or want to use again. This one is a bronze piece. It's taken on a greenish patina. So it just, you know, these are things I like to live with and look at and choose to use or not use. Each of these pieces are very slow in their realization. These pieces, these indoor sculptures, go on for a long time. In fact, this has been here for several years. For example, this is plywood mock-up, and I'm thinking of these as a screen. And I'm very interested in how I'm going to perforate this screen and create points of view for someone walking around this. But it all begins with this very rough material until there's a realization that's the form I want, and then a decision is made. Do I want this to be wood? Do I want a piece of it to be stone? Do I want a copper coat? Do I want a zinc? So that is all slowly decided, and I try it, and sometimes it doesn't work, and I start all over again. But these are very much a research for me, and eventually the project will be completed, and then it'll end up in usually a museum collection.